My name's Isaac, 31, and I've been labeled the family outcast. It's not a badge I pinned on myself, it's one they started murmuring about when I stopped playing their game. I didn't cause a scene at a family gathering. I didn't make a fool of myself at a celebration. I just stopped footing the bill for everyone. For years, I was the family's unspoken ATM. Need a rental car? Isaac's got it covered. He's got travel points from work. Booking a resort for a cousin's wedding? Isaac will handle it. He can expense it. The worst part? I bought into it. I convinced myself it was just being generous, that this was what families do. Then came the cruise. It started subtly, as it always did. Aunt Melanie tossed a message into the family chat. Thinking of a cruise next summer? Big family trip. The chat lit up. Even the quiet cousins jumped in with emojis, t-shirt ideas, and polls about ports of call. I wouldn't have known though, I wasn't in the chat. At first, I thought it was a glitch. My phone had messed up before. So I texted my mom, "What's this cruise talk?" Her reply came after a long pause, "Oh, we figured you wouldn't care." I stared at her words for a solid 10 minutes. Not angry, just empty. The same emptiness I felt when they said I wasn't needed at my nephew's christening because there were enough uncles already. The same void from learning the family photos were taken without me on a weekend they claimed was postponed. I texted back, "You didn't even ask me." No response. Weeks passed in silence. Then my bank pinged me about a massive charge, €14,000. Cruise payment. Not a scam. I recognized the travel agency, the same one we'd used for our big Europe trip 5 years back. Turns out, my dad never removed my card from the family's account. I could have voided the transaction right then. I considered it. But some part of me, maybe the part still hoping for an apology, held off. Instead, I waited. The day they set sail, I didn't even know they'd left. No farewell, no heads up. Just quiet. Until I opened Instagram. There they were, decked out in matching Cruise Squad 2025 shirts. Aunts, uncles, cousins, even my godmother.
Every génération, greening.
Everyone but me. Then my phone rang. It was my dad. "Wait, you're not on the ship?" I stayed silent, just breathing. He laughed, like it was a mix-up. "You didn't miss the boarding, did you? You were supposed to be at gate 3. Still, I said nothing. My gut felt like ice. Then a message from my cousin Elise popped up, a photo of the ship's dining hall. Elegant table settings.
Me-19 cher.
One had a name card, Isaac.
A stranger sat there, raising a glass to his camera.
Her caption, "Guess the outcast finally got the hint." That was the moment something in me turned to stone. I hadn't been overlooked. I'd been erased. They'd planned to use me, book it all on my dime, take my seat, let someone else enjoy the dinner I'd unknowingly paid for. And then they mocked me for not showing up. I stood, walked to the window, and watched the morning traffic roll by. Then I opened the travel app.
Ik knew the system.
The group booking was in my name, giving me full control. I could cancel it before the ship officially departed. And they hadn't sailed yet. The app flashed a warning. "Are you sure you want to cancel this reservation? This action is irreversible. No refunds." I pressed confirm. 5 seconds later, it was done.
Il sat in the quai.
Not angry. Not relieved. Just still. An hour later, the call started. Then a message from Elise. "What did you do?" I didn't reply. Voicemails piled up, each more desperate than the last. "Isaac, we're stuck at the port. They won't let us board. This isn't a joke. People flew in for this.
You're overacting. Fix it, now.
Please, just talk to us." I didn't.
I powered off my phone and let the silence sol de me like a shield.
For the first time in years, I didn't feel like the outcast. I felt like the one in control. The next morning, I woke before dawn. The air was thick with early summer humidity, slowing everything down. I left my phone on the nightstand, buzzing like a trapped insect. 92 missed calls. 51 messages. My mom left a tearful voice note. I didn't play it. Instead, I brewed coffee, dark bitter, and sat at the kitchen table, just breathing. I hadn't realized how much mental space they consumed. Every choice I made, Every trip, every dollar saved, every free weekend, was measured against their expectations. Would Mom guilt me for not visiting? Would Dad expect me to cover the tab again? Would Aunt Melanie forget her purse and joke that I earned more anyway? It had been a slow, suffocating trap for years.
Now, the kie belonge tout me. At 7h12 du matin, the front door shook.
Knocking, then pounding.
Isaac, open this door. My father's voice, Rowisanger.
Through the peephole, I saw him and Elise. Her hair was damp, her face flushed with tears or fury, probably both. Dad clutched a manila folder, his lips moving like he was practicing a speech. I didn't open the door. Instead, I slid a sticky note onto the glass. Not your ATM. Not your fallback.
Not your dorma.
He read it. Stopped. Elise stepped back like she'd been slapped.
Ik knocked again, softe now.
Son, we can work this out. It got out of hand. We didn't mean to exclude you.
Il let them stand there for 10 minutes.
Then I heard their car pull away. Silence returned. A few hours later, my cousin Darren, one of the few I trusted, texted me privately, "They're losing it. Half the family missed flights home. Aunt Jan's threatening to sue the cruise line. Your mom hasn't stopped crying." I didn't revel in it. I didn't feel triumphant. But I felt calm. Not because they were suffering, but because I'd stopped apologizing for refusing to be their wallet with a pulse. That night, my sister Rachel showed up. She was always the quiet one, avoiding conflict, never picking sides. "I didn't know, Isaac," she said softly. "They told me you opted out." "I swear." I leaned against the doorframe, arms folded, silent. She held out a tote bag. Inside was my cruise shirt, still wrapped in plastic. "They made this for you. They planned for you to be there." I raised an eyebrow. She hesitated. "But when I asked why you weren't in the chat, Mom said you'd ruin the mood." There it was, the truth they didn't expect her to share. I took the bag, set it by the door. "I'm not upset with you, Rachel," I said. "But if you want to stay neutral, stay out of it." She nodded sadly. "I understand." Then she left. I locked the door. That night, I did something I hadn't done in years, booked a solo trip. No group texts, no family polls, no compromises. Just a quiet escape to Santorini's cliffs with a backpack, a camera, and a long overdue sense of freedom. As I confirmed the booking, another message came through. "Please, Isaac. Give us a chance to fix this." I didn't reply. Not yet. But I was curious what fixing meant to people who never admitted they were wrong. I didn't block their numbers. I wanted the record, their pleas, their panic. The next day, the Family Trip 2025 chat reappeared on my phone. No explanation, just me added to the group. 19 people, relatives I hadn't heard from in months, some years, acting like I was suddenly welcome. The first message was a cheesy meme, "A broken bridge with family, we can rebuild it together." Then the flood came. "Aunt Melanie, we all messed up. Let's move on, Isaac. Love you." Uncle Darren, it was a mix-up. No one meant harm. "Mom, you're my son. That's bigger than money or trips." "Dad, this shouldn't break us. Call me." Elise, "Okay," my text was harsh, but it was just sarcasm. Cousin Jared, "Come on man, it's just a cruise. We didn't torch your house." Grandma, in a shaky voice memo, "You were always my favorite, Isaac. This is tearing us apart." I didn't respond. I didn't delete the chat. I just watched. The irony? They still didn't get it. It wasn't about the cruise, the seat, the shirts, or even the money. It was about being sidelined, used, and expected to pay for it. It was about being invisible until they needed a signature or a deposit. It was about realizing I didn't need to keep showing up for people who only remembered me when it suited them. Then another chat appeared, siblings only with a red heart. Rachel must have added me. Just 4 of us, me, Rachel, Elise, and our brother Mark, who lived far away and rarely texted.
Rachel, I'm sorry. Isaac.
I believed Mom when she said you were too busy. Mark, I didn't even know about the cruise until the photos. Not shocked they pulled this again. They forgot me at Thanksgiving. Elise, can we stop acting like this was some big plot? You could have spoken up, Isaac, instead of ruining everyone's trip. I finally typed, You replaced me at dinner before I could say anything. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. Elise saw it. No reply. Rachel liked it. Mark sent a thumbs up. It was enough. 2 days later, silence returned. Pure, beautiful silence. I took walks, cooked, reread books with sand still stuck in their pages from my last real vacation. I didn't check the app or scroll social media. But I did get a letter handwritten, no return address, smelling faintly of my mom's lavender soap. It was brief. We crossed a line. Not the first. But this family's falling apart, and I need you to hold it together. Come to the house. Just once. Let us talk. It didn't say I'm sorry. It didn't say we were wrong. But it was enough to spark an idea. I wouldn't return for them, but I'd let them come, on my terms. So I sent one message to the Family Trip 2025 chat. If you want to talk, be at the house Sunday, 3 p.m. Everyone. You get 20 minutes. Then I'm done. The replies were instant.
Dad, oui elle est bidaire.
Mom, thank you my boy.
Aunt Mélanie, God is good.
Elise, this'll be interesting. Grandma, I'll bring cookies. But they didn't know I'd been preparing. That house? It was mine paid off, titled in my name for years. The guest list might have been theirs, but the rules were about to change. Sunday arrived like a jury summons. I spent the morning clearing the air, opening curtains, dusting chairs, arranging the living room like a stage.
No food, no candle, no hospitality.
This wasn't a party, it was a reckoning. At 2:58 p.m., cars filled the driveway.
SUVS, à minivan, habite up dans Wizki's in the back.
I watched from upstairs as they arrived. Aunt Melanie in her usual floral top, softer than her personality. Uncle Darren, still thinking this was a simple mix-up. Elise, snapping her gum like she was untouchable. My parents, together, Mom with a foil-covered dish, Dad with his manila folder. They looked uneasy. Good. At 3:01, I opened the door. No warmth, no words, just a gesture to the living room. Sit. They shuffled in, murmuring, the air tense like a classroom before an exam. I waited until every chair was taken, then locked the door and stood in the center point 20 minutes, I said.
That's all you get.
They stared, some glancing at each other. My dad started, son. I cut him off. Don't use that word like it still carries weight.
You don't get to steer this.
He sat back, shocked. I faced the room. Before anyone speaks, I'm reading something. I pulled a paper from my pocket. It was short but heavy with years. November 2019. You asked me to cover Mark's wedding venue deposit. Said I'd be paid back. I wasn't. Chairs creaked. March 2020. You used my card for the family cabin without asking. Said it was simpler that way. Mom looked at her hands. August 2021. I was told the barbecue didn't need me, too many guests. Later, I learned there were over 40 people. Aunt Melanie opened her mouth. I raised a finger. She shut it. December 2022. Elise posted, Real Family Christmas. I wasn't in the photo. Elise rolled her eyes. It was a joke. You can explain later, I said sharply. Let me finish. I folded the paper. This isn't for sympathy. It's so you can't pretend you forgot. This wasn't a one-off. It was a system. And the cruise? I locked eyes with my dad. That was the final straw. You cut me out of the chat, the ship, the plan, but not the bill. Then acted shocked when I pulled the plug. Silence. Then Mom, voice shaking, we thought you wouldn't come. You're always so distant. Distant? I gave a bitter laugh. You mean exhausted? From funding everything while being treated like an afterthought. You never spoke up, she said. I shouldn't have to, I shot back. I shouldn't have to beg to be included in the family I've been bankrolling. Another silence. Elise folded her arms. So this is about money? Ist daher? No. It's about respect. And you lost mine years ago. She scoffed. You could have said no instead of torching everyone's trip. I stepped closer. I did say no. You just didn't hear it. You took no as ask again later. Aunt Melanie chimed in, her voice syrupy. We are family. We all mess up. Isn't forgiveness part of that? Funny, I said. That only comes up when you need something. I walked to a side table, picked up a black folder, and turned back. Which brings me to this. I opened it. This is a notarized notice. As of today, you're cut off from my accounts, travel services, and reward points. The joint card is closed.
The airline miles?
Gone. All linked payments? Terminated. I handed the folder to my dad. He took it, stunned. I'm not here to yell or beg, I said. I'm here to end this. Mom's voice broke. We can do better. No, I said. You won't. And that's fine. But I don't owe you another chance to wound me just because we're related. Grandma spoke, her voice frail.
What do you want us to say?
I looked at her, the only one who seemed genuinely sorry.
Nothing, he said softly. I don't want word anymore.
I want space to live without being erased. Mark stood suddenly. I'm with you, he said. I felt this too. I just didn't have the courage to say it. He walked to my side. The room shifted.
My dad stood. Isaac, don't do this.
I didn't, I said. You did. I'm just closing the door. I walked to the door, unlocked it, opened it. You can leave. They rose slowly, expecting a last-minute save, a hug, a laugh, a gotcha. There wasn't one. They filed out. Some muttered farewells. Others avoided my gaze. Elise paused in the doorway. You'll regret this.
He made her eyes steady.
No. I'll regret waiting this long. She left.
He looked at the door.
Mark turned to me. You serious about this? I nodded. Yeah. He exhaled.
So what is next?
I looked around the quiet house. Now, we rebuild. With less baggage. That night, we cracked open a bottle of wine, talked like brothers, laughed, planned a trip, just us.
No group chat, no matching shirts, no hidden agenda.
Just calm. A week later, Rachel texted, I left the group chat.
Proud of you.
I smiled, feeling something I hadn't in years. Freedom. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more heartfelt tales.
Your support